Hello everybody, this is Janet Adams. Welcome to my video on identifying honor and glory. I have watched these fledglings since they hatched and taken pictures of them every day. I still have difficulty at times telling them apart. But there are a few things you can look for. Size. Honor is bigger than glory. Color. Glory is darker on his back. And their beaks. Honor has a larger, thicker beak. This first picture is of Glory, and you can see that I have outlined in red the white feathers that are in an inverted V on Glory's back. These are very distinguishing, and Honor does not have them, although she does have some white feathers on her back. But you will notice here also that Glory, from his neck down to his tail, his feathers are very dark, almost black. This is a picture of Honor. A couple of things that I look for in identifying Honor are her beak and her leg feathers, or what a lot of us like to refer to as pantaloons, and we do that just in jest. Her leg feathers, or pantaloons, have white feathers, quite a few white feathers in fact, on them. And her beak is much longer than Glory's, and from the mandible, which is the lower jaw, up to the top of her beak, it is thicker than what Glory's is. Sometimes I find it easier if both eaglets or fledglings are in the same picture together. For example, Honor is on Liberty's branch. She's the closest to you on this picture. And Glory is up on the bus stop branch. And as you can see, another thing that I use to identify Honor are her feathers on her back, which, contrary to Glory's, they are more what I call mosaic or a mottled effect. They're different colors, different variations in the coloring and feathering. So that's another very easy way to identify Honor if she has her back to you. Again, this is a picture of Honor. You can see the feathers on her back, how they're different colors, and the white feathers on her legs or her pantaloons. Next, I want to talk about tails. In this picture, Honor is on the left and Glory is on the right. Look at their tails. Glory on the right has a much more tapered tail, and Honor's tail is wider and not as tapered. When they're facing like this, it's relatively easy to see that difference. But as you're going to see in the next picture, if they change their position just a little bit, the effect can be much different. So in this picture, they're now kind of facing each other. And on the left, which is Honor, her tail now looks more tapered. And Glory, who's on the right, his tail looks wider. But that's just not the case. So, again, it's looking at the eagles or the eaglets, examining them, look at their features. Sometimes you have to wait for them to move around in order to really identify them correctly. And then back to the previous picture, again, you can see Glory is very long-shaped, tapered, thin. Honor on the left is thicker through the shoulders, and then with the wider tail. She has a longer neck as well. This is a picture of Glory. Again, you can see the V feather shape on the back of his feathers. Okay, the next 6 pictures are of honor and glory lying next to each other. See if you can tell which one is which as you're looking at these. They go by pretty quick. If you concentrate on their beaks, you should be able to tell, at least by this picture, who is who. And now we can see that on the upper side or at the top of the picture is honor, and at the bottom is glory. The way I know this and can tell is the beaks. Honor's beak is thicker. Glory's beak is not as thick. This picture shows honor and glory's tails. The picture again, honor is up towards the top. Glory is down towards the bottom. Honor's tail has brighter white feathers on it. Glory's tail also has the white feathers that you can see in this picture, but they're not as bright or dark white. I don't usually use this as an indicator. Only on a few times do I use the coloring on their tails. It changes every day. This is a close-up of Honor's beak and how and where I look at her beak in order to tell if it is her or if it's Glory. So you can see from the lower jaw up to the top of her beak is the thickest point. This is a real close-up of Honor. Again, you can see the thickness of her beak, and she's cute besides. This is Honor giving us her best impression of her mean look. The next few pictures are Glory, and I want you to see first, notice the beak. It's smaller than what Honor's is. And then in this picture, I want you to see the red encircled area, and then just above the bright yellow line, you can see a dark line that extends from the beak back towards the eye. I actually noticed this dark spot a couple of months ago, and I've never said anything because I thought it might go away or it was just some abnormality, but it has stayed there and consistently, and I use that as a means to identify Glory. Finally, the next 5 pictures, or the last 5 pictures, show both fledglings, eaglets, Honor and Glory, on the timeout branch, or some people call it the PS branch. If you can tell the difference between them at this point, then you have learned the lessons that I've tried to teach in this video. I hope you've enjoyed my explanations. I apologize for any mistakes. I'm not used to recording my voice on my videos. But I hope you have learned something today, and if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I will try to get back to you with answers as soon as I can. Thank you for watching and have a great day.